Alright guys, what's going on? Hope you're having a great start to the week. And thanks again to all my subs, members, and if you want to support the channel, a great way to do it, just watch the video all the way through to the end. So thank you guys for the support. So let's get into it today. So Don, what's on your mind in the Summer Wells case today? Well, I got to talking about this over on nature videos with Sheila. She's got a YouTube channel, so you can go check her out. Got a great channel over there. She talks about summer, and I was over chatting it up with her, and so let me elaborate on some of the stuff I talked about over there, because I hit on some stuff but didn't go into anything real deep. So we'll talk about why is nothing working. Why is nothing working? Well, people just recently put out another billboard. There was one put out earlier. So this makes, like, I guess, a second billboard. Flyers have been put up everywhere. She's been on the news. TBI's had, a few press conferences. Why is nothing working to find this little girl? And after giving it some thought, just be honest with you, I think because it was planned, it was a planned event, and it was executed in a secret way. That's what I think. And with it being planned, I feel like that they left behind little clues. Not much to go on at all, because it was planned. Now, whether something's planned or it's done in the spur of the moment, 9 times out of 10, even if it's well planned, there's something going to go wrong in that plan that you're not going to expect, right? No matter how well it's planned. In a perfect world, it would go 100% as planned. But this ain't a perfect world, and when criminals even, plan out their crimes, I'd say 9 out of 10 times something unplanned happens in their planned crime, okay? So you're like, well, what have they got, Don, if they left behind very little evidence or clues? Well, let's talk about, witnesses. Yeah, there's even been witnesses, They've even interviewed witnesses and stuff like that. And still, the little girl's still missing. So let's talk about witnesses. Old Don B wants to talk about some witnesses. Well, who's going to be some good witnesses in this case, Don B? Well, I think some of the most important witnesses in the case of Summer Wells are going to be the ones who can't talk. Well, we've had plenty of people talking. Plenty of people. Where's that gotten us? It may have gotten law enforcement a little ways. But I feel like some of the most important witnesses are going to be the ones who can't talk. I ain't talking about Jody Sue. I didn't say you can't understand. I'm saying you can't, they just can't flat out talk. Y'all like that, didn't you? So what are you talking about, Dawn? What do you mean some of the most important witnesses, they can't talk? Well, how are they going to be witnesses if they can't talk? Because they see everything going on. There's no mouthpiece on this. But this right here, these right here are going to be some of the most important witnesses in the case of Summer Wells. So let me elaborate on that a little bit. So you know, we heard some chatter that Candace left. You know, obviously she said she did leave and go look for Summer, I think in Grandis's truck. And when she did, not everything up and down through there is trail cams. You got these little boogers too. Okay? They're in windows. They're next to doors. It's not all. I know that Beach Creek is very rural, and that place is known for trail cams. But that ain't the only cams littered up and down Beach Creek. So I believe when Candace first told investigators maybe how many times that she left, and there was a lot of movement that day on June 15th. There was a lot of movement all over town, and again, these will come in handy. But maybe Candace told investigators, yeah, I got in Grandis's truck and went and looked for her, and then I decided, and then we called you guys. That would like make one trip of her leaving, right? She got in Grandis's truck and went out looking for her, come back, called Dawn, called the law. One trip. So as investigators, you know, canvass the area, and they come across some people with these, and police find out what's on these. They say, well, interesting. She said she only left one time? Huh. This is showing she left more than that. Is that what happened? So investigators are like, well, let's go question Candace again. Let's just see exactly how many times she did leave between the time she got home that afternoon and the time that she called law enforcement. So they go question her, and Candace is probably like, yeah. Just, I got in Grandis's truck and just went out that, went and looked for her just at one time. And then I called Dawn and we called you guys. And they're like, are you sure? And maybe they confronted her with what was on these that are actually littered up and down Beach Creek, right? Maybe they asked her, are you sure that you just went out one time? And then she's like, oh shit. And then the light went off in her head. Oh shit, they're on to me. So is that what happened when John Pruitt says that he had a decent line of communication with them at first, but then as time went on, that line of communication disappeared? Is it because the light went off in Dawn and Candace's head? And this light going off made them realize, I guess we better quit talking to them. And maybe their next statement to John Pruitt and Ronnie Lawson was, you know, I don't want to answer any more questions until, you know, I don't want to answer any more questions unless I've got an attorney present. I'm going to go ahead and invoke my right to remain silent. Is that basically what happened? And you know, were they getting close? Were they getting close with stuff like this? Were they catching on to discrepancies in their stories with stuff like this? Makes you wonder. Something caused them to quit talking to police, huh? And I think it was definitely them getting close. So let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Tell me what you think about the video. Tell me what you think. And we'll be back on here tomorrow. Let's keep Summer's name out there. See ya. Peace.